If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it. I set the record in 5 games.
What would have to happen for Caitlin Clark to pass A'ja Wilson?
A'ja would probably have to not play any more games this year. But the season A'ja is having right now, it's hers.
The reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Why is there so much hate towards Caitlin Clark? Is it because she's outperforming all her competitors?
That's what a lot of these women are doing, is they feel like what we have done for this game, this young player has come into our game, and she's getting way more respect and all that stuff than we are.
It's disheartening to see the league that struggled for years suddenly rise to prominence in just a few days due to the Caitlin Clark effect.
Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years.
Why are WNBA players unhappy? Don't they stand to benefit from the increased fame of the WNBA? They should.
When I look at Caitlin Clark, fans are tuning in to watch her, and you know who that's helping? Everybody else!
But instead, they seem determined to diminish the achievements of a young woman who has gained popularity worldwide.
Caitlin Clark is the driving force, and it does seem like there's some resentment, some jealousy, which is sports.
Previously, Diana Taurasi, a 42-year-old player for the Phoenix Mercury, made controversial comments about the young and talented basketball player Caitlin Clark, hinting that reality is coming for her. Taurasi's remarks seemed to be aimed at degrading Clark, but the young athlete chose not to dignify the comments with a response and instead remained focused on her game. In Gil's arena, one woman dismissed the impact of Caitlin Clark by suggesting that she could only be considered for MVP if A'ja Wilson stopped playing.
A'ja would probably have to not play any more games this year. But the season A'ja is having right now, it's hers.
However, the truth is that Caitlin Clark has consistently delivered exceptional performances and is currently leading the race for MVP. Many fans and analysts have even gone so far as to liken her to today's equivalent of basketball legend Larry Bird.
The people have chosen Caitlin Clark. They enjoy watching her play, her style, her energy, her shot. Whether it's because her game mirrors one of the greatest players in the NBA in Steph Curry or not, I don't know what it is. It's an intangible thing, right? Yes, we can say she's a dog. Okay, there's been other dogs. Okay, she's a great shooter. There's been other great shooters. She has it. She's got the thing.
Sheryl Swoopes' actions are simply intolerable. She consistently displays her animosity towards Caitlin Clark wherever she goes. She believes that Angel Reese is a superior player to Caitlin Clark and has even claimed that Katie Lou is a better player than Caitlin. However, the statistics of both players do not surpass those of Caitlin Clark. Sheryl Swoopes is not being truthful. Why, you ask? It's because she can't openly exhibit her hatred towards Caitlin Clark, as she would face backlash. So, she hides behind other players like Katie Lou and Angel Reese to convey her disdain towards Caitlin Clark, hoping people won't notice and will believe she is speaking the truth. However, supporters of Caitlin Clark recognize that Sheryl Swoopes is attempting to discredit her at every opportunity.
Regular season viewership, it grew by 20% in 2023. It's grown by 180% now, which means it would take another 5 or 6 years to do what Caitlin Clark has done. So between draft day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%, between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%, between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%, what Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days what would have taken 5 years.
In this video, we will reveal Sheryl Swoopes' animosity towards Caitlin Clark and investigate the reasons behind it, which is even more intriguing. Stay tuned as we uncover everything you need to know if you are a true supporter of Caitlin Clark. Before we get started, I kindly ask you to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so that you can stay up to date with all the latest news and updates from WNBA Original. By clicking the bell icon, you'll receive notifications for all our new content. Your support is truly appreciated. Now let's jump right in.
Well, I mean, if you want to talk about bullies, we can talk about every time Caitlin has the ball, she pushes off. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it. If Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlin should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year and then there's another year, you know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year to break that record. Yeah, that'll go in the record books as Caitlin Clark is the all-time, whatever it is. I don't even know what the number is, but that's the way it'll be. And I don't think it should be.
Sheryl Swoopes made a bold statement targeting Caitlin Clark when she was on the brink of breaking the NCAA scoring record. At first glance, Swoopes appeared to be speaking with unwavering confidence, but a simple 3-second Google search reveals that her claims are unfounded. In reality, Caitlin only played for 4 years at Iowa during her college career without a COVID eligibility extension, and she chose not to use her eligibility to play a 5th year despite being able to do so.
She's a senior, but I think her COVID year was last year.
When it comes to Caitlin's efficiency in shattering the record, this graph clearly demonstrates that she accomplished this remarkable feat in significantly fewer games than Kelsey Plum. While Plum set the record in 139 games, Caitlin reached the milestone in just 126 games, 13 games fewer, a testament to her exceptional talent and determination. But just when you might think that the criticism from Swoopes would end there, she doubled down with yet another incredibly misguided and downright absurd take on Caitlin's achievement.
Clark right now probably takes about 40 shots a game.
It doesn't take much effort to disprove what Swoopes claimed. A quick search reveals that on average, Caitlin took around 20 shots per game throughout her 4 years at Iowa. That's approximately 20 fewer shots than what Swoopes alleged, which makes you wonder where she's getting her information from. It's almost as if Swoopes is going out of her way to downplay Caitlin's accomplishments, and it begs the question, what's her deal? Why is she so intent on undermining such a stellar performance? After attempting to discredit Caitlin's achievement in breaking the all-time scoring record, Swoopes didn't stop there. She doubled down on her disdain by accusing Caitlin of being a ball hog, claiming she only broke the record because she takes an excessive number of shots per game. But it doesn't end with just that absurd statement. Swoopes went a step further by blatantly lying again, this time using Caitlin's age as an excuse to diminish her accomplishments.
How much more experience that gives you over other players coming in, right? So people say, dang, like he or she's killing them, but you have a 25-year-old playing against a 20-year-old. Like, you should be killing them. Because you've been doing it a lot longer than they have.
Swoopes' claim that Caitlin was significantly older than everyone else is just another attempt to downplay her dominance in college basketball. It's yet another example of Swoopes trying to diminish Caitlin's achievements with misleading information that could easily be disproven with a quick online search. The reality is, Caitlin is only 22 years old right now, which is perfectly in line with the typical age range of college athletes. So it really makes you wonder where Swoopes got the confidence to throw out such unfounded numbers. In all my years following basketball, I've witnessed plenty of rivalries and conflicts on and off the court, but I've rarely seen the level of animosity and jealousy that Sheryl Swoopes is directing towards Caitlin. It's puzzling and, frankly, disappointing to see such a legendary figure in the sport go to such lengths to undermine a younger player's success.
I think she is the Stephen Curry of women's college basketball. I think she has changed the dynamics of the way the game is played. I think the way she plays, the pizzazz, is like she's probably the most prolific scorer the game of basketball has ever seen.
To truly grasp where Swoopes' seething resentment towards Caitlin is coming from, I decided to dig deeper into the situation. I scoured the internet, searching far and wide to get to the root of this animosity. What I found was quite revealing. It led me to a 1-minute clip recorded last year that might just explain the origins of Swoopes' intense disdain for Caitlin. This clip sheds some light on why Swoopes seems to carry this burning grudge, and it paints a clearer picture of the underlying motivations behind her constant attempts to discredit Caitlin's achievements.
I set the record in 5 games, right?
Yeah.
because back then we had a first round bye.
Oh,
so
okay.
we didn't get to play, I didn't get that 6 games. So I set the record in 5 games.
Took her extra game.
Well, I'm just saying.
You can say that.
No, listen, if I have 6 games,
The record's different.
well, I'm gonna have another 30. But I don't really care what the record is, who has the record.
Sheryl once again took shots at Caitlin, this time fixating on the fact that Caitlin broke her record by playing just 1 extra game. Just 1 game. Despite claiming that she didn't care who broke the record, Swoopes clearly made a big deal out of it, revealing how much her ego was bruised. It seems that from that moment on, Swoopes made it her personal mission to slander and undermine Caitlin Clark at every opportunity she had. After spreading all these falsehoods about Caitlin, Swoopes eventually decided to hit the brakes and offered a half-hearted apology. However, even in her attempt to make amends, she couldn't resist putting the spotlight back on Caitlin, seemingly unable to let go of her obsession with trying to tear her down. It's as if Swoopes can't help but oscillate between criticizing Caitlin and grudgingly acknowledging her, all while keeping the focus squarely on Caitlin whenever she has the platform to do so.
So I don't have any hard feelings towards Caitlin. My thing is, when you put these expectations on these young women in college to go to the next level and be immediately dominant, and when that doesn't happen, then people come back and say, oh, she was a bust, she was a flop, she wasn't that good. Like, just let them do what they're doing and let them become stars in the WNBA. Like, it's not about me liking you, not liking you, me hating on you. Like, I don't even know how to let those words come out of my mouth. But so to like every single person on social media that like held it down for me, like I got mad love and respect for all of them for showing up and showing out.
She claimed she was just looking out for Caitlin by trying to manage people's expectations about her, but as you saw and heard from the previous clips, that's far from the truth. In reality, she's the one bad-mouthing Caitlin and spreading negativity right before Caitlin enters the WNBA. What makes it even worse is how Swoopes has twisted the narrative, portraying herself as the victim after facing backlash on social media. But let's be clear, she's the one who instigated all of this in the first place. Instead of taking responsibility for her actions, she's now trying to turn the tables, claiming that she was unjustly targeted when, in fact, she's the one who set the whole situation in motion. After facing a lot of backlash for dissing Caitlin, Swoopes eventually toned down her rhetoric for a couple of weeks. However, it didn't take long for her to jump back into the fray. Recently, on her own podcast, Swoopes took new shots at Caitlin, claiming that Katie Lou Samuelson is far more valuable than Caitlin. She also asserted that the Fever would make the playoffs without Caitlin, because according to her, all Caitlin does is pass the ball. As if that weren't enough, she went on to pick Angel Reese for Rookie of the Year, arguing that Caitlin's success is due to her having a better and far more talented supporting cast. Now, no disrespect to Katie Lou Samuelson, but she's averaging just 5 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist this season. In contrast, Caitlin is not only leading her team in scoring, but also leading the league in assists. So, how can anyone seriously argue that Katie Lou is more valuable than Caitlin? It's baffling, and seems like just another baseless attempt by Swoopes to downplay Caitlin's undeniable impact and talent. Regarding Swoopes' second point, it's important for her to remember that the Fever haven't made the playoffs in the past 2 years, nor did they reach the postseason the year before that. In fact, the last time the Fever made it to the playoffs was back in 2016. There's a clear reason why they've had back-to-back #1 picks in the last 2 seasons. Before drafting Caitlin, the Fever were struggling significantly, and now they're actually in contention for a playoff spot, currently sitting at 7th. Just 1 spot above Angel Reese's Chicago Sky. There are multiple factors contributing to the Fever's improved performance this season, but it's undeniable that the Caitlin Clark effect plays a substantial role in their turnaround.
The people have chosen Caitlin Clark. They enjoy watching her play, her style, her energy, her shot. Whether it's because her game mirrors one of the greatest players in the NBA in Steph Curry or not, I don't know what it is. It's an intangible thing, right? Yes, we can say she's a dog. Okay, there's been other dogs. Okay, she's a great shooter. There's been other great shooters. She has it. She's got the thing.
Her impact on the team is evident, and it's clear that she has been a major catalyst in their current position. So, while there may be other contributing factors, Caitlin's contribution to their success cannot be ignored or downplayed. After Sheryl's latest shots at Caitlin went viral, Caitlin's fans, who have been closely following this one-sided feud, had had enough of Swoopes' misleading attacks. In response, they decided to dig into Swoopes' past, unearthing a range of controversies and questionable actions. Here's what has resurfaced.
She's under investigation, accused of mistreating players. I mean, the college coach is not only under fire, but under investigation after reports that the majority of her roster has decided to leave.
It was the environment she had created. I was belittled, humiliated, made to feel extremely small.
For someone with a history of mistreating and abusing players, it's becoming clearer why Sheryl Swoopes is targeting Caitlin. It's almost as if her past behavior sheds light on her current actions. It would have been more respectable if Swoopes had simply been honest about her dislike for Caitlin and admitted she wasn't a fan. At least then, she would have been straightforward about her feelings. But instead, Swoopes has chosen to sink to new lows, going to great lengths to personally attack Caitlin and diminish her extraordinary achievements in women's basketball. This approach not only reflects poorly on Swoopes, but also reveals a deeper, more personal animosity that seems to be driving her relentless criticism. Get ready to be blown away by Caitlin Clark's recent performance. You won't want to miss a second of this video. Stay tuned to witness pure athleticism in action. Caitlin Clark once again demonstrated why she is one of the most electrifying players in the league, with a performance that was both record-breaking and pivotal in securing a victory for the Indiana Fever. Clark finished the game with 19 points, a testament to her scoring ability and her relentless pursuit of excellence. Her impact was felt from the very beginning, as she knocked down her 86th three-pointer of the season just minutes into the game, setting a new WNBA record for the most three-pointers made by a rookie. This achievement alone solidified her place in history, surpassing the previous record held by Ryan Howard. However, Clark's night was about more than just her shooting. She brought a well-rounded game to the court. Clark's 19 points came on 7 of 17 shooting, which included 3 of 12 from beyond the arc. While her three-point shooting was below her usual standards, the sheer volume and confidence with which she attempts these shots speak to her fearless approach to the game. Even when her shot wasn't falling consistently from deep, Clark found ways to contribute, driving to the basket and making timely plays to keep the Fever in control. Her ability to stretch the defense and create space for herself and her teammates is a constant threat that forces opponents to stay alert at all times. In addition to her scoring, Clark contributed across the stat sheet, pulling down 5 rebounds, dishing out 5 assists, and recording 1 steal and 1 block. Her 5 rebounds were crucial, as they often came at key moments when the Fever needed to secure possession and push the tempo. Clark's vision and playmaking abilities were on full display with her 5 assists, as she consistently found open teammates, creating scoring opportunities and keeping the offense fluid. Her ability to read the defense and make smart passes under pressure highlighted her high basketball IQ and her value as a playmaker, not just a scorer. Defensively, Clark showed her versatility by contributing a steal and a block, proving that she is more than capable of impacting the game on both ends of the floor. Her steal was a result of her quick hands and anticipation, while her block demonstrated her timing and ability to contest shots, despite her primary role as a guard. These defensive plays were vital in key moments, helping to maintain the Fever's lead and disrupt the opposing team's rhythm. However, Clark's performance was not without its challenges. She committed 7 turnovers, which were a result of both the high level of defensive pressure she faced and her aggressive style of play. These turnovers are indicative of the growing pains that come with being a rookie in the WNBA, especially for a player who is often tasked with handling the ball and creating offense. Despite these turnovers, Clark's impact on the game remained overwhelmingly positive, as reflected in her +3/+- rating. This rating underscores that even with the mistakes, her presence on the court contributed to her team's success. Beyond the numbers, Clark's leadership and poise were evident throughout the game. In the final minutes, with the score tied and the pressure mounting, it was Clark who stepped up and drove to the basket, scoring a crucial layup that gave the Fever the lead. This play was a defining moment, showcasing her ability to perform in clutch situations and her determination to lead her team to victory. Her confidence and composure in these high-stress moments are rare for a rookie and speak to her potential as a future star in the league. Off the court, Clark's presence continues to draw attention, as evidenced by the star-studded crowd that came to watch her play. Olympic gold medalists Simone Biles and Gabby Thomas, along with entertainment legend David Letterman and Colts QB Anthony Richardson, were all in attendance, highlighting the growing buzz around Clark and her impact on the WNBA. This level of attention and support not only reflects her talent, but also her ability to elevate the profile of the league. Caitlin Clark's performance was a mix of record-breaking achievement, all-around contribution, and the inevitable challenges of a rookie season. She continues to push boundaries and establish herself as a key player in the WNBA, with her scoring, playmaking, and leadership driving the Indiana Fever forward. Despite the turnovers and occasional shooting struggles, Clark's ability to impact the game in multiple ways and her knack for delivering in crucial moments make her an invaluable asset to her team. As she continues to develop and refine her game, there is no doubt that Caitlin Clark is on her way to becoming one of the league's most influential players. I hope you found this video to be helpful and informative. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing to the channel so that you can stay updated with the latest content. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you.